stirring the water with 1 ounce of grape juice and 5 grams of creatine in it using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the flavor and the effect of your creatine daily supplement at the molecular level. Cheers. Ah, hell yeah. Why grape juice, you say? Well, first of all, I like a little bit of flavor. I was using some grape flavor, like those drops. Sometimes I put in like grape flavored drops or root beer flavored drops or orange drops, or what's the other popular one, like strawberry kiwi. And when you look at the ingredients, it's like red color number 3, blue color number 7. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just, oh, and it was sugar free, of course. I'd rather just put like a shot glass of regular Concord grape juice in my water with my creatine, and I'm good. And I'm good. The results are, well, the results speak for themselves. I can't say anything, but the results do speak. Anyways, good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, well, you already saw me have my creatine. But today's show is brought to you by the Grondike Soap Company, the new body moisturizing lotion and deodorant, which I never use deodorant except if I'm going out somewhere. And I love the fact that it's coconut oil based, has zinc in it, shea butter, jojoba, cedarwood essential oil, lime essential oil, ginger essential oil, charcoal powder, and of course the pheromones. I'm not a big deodorant guy, but when I do use deodorant, that's it. When I know I'm going to be letting it rip, because I normally don't, like I said, I don't usually use it. And then as far as the body butter is concerned, I will tell you, since I've lost weight and the tummy has gotten smaller, you have to moisturize the belly. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to have, look at that, it's almost empty. You have to moisturize the belly. Otherwise, the wrinkles, I mean, it's going to be crazy. I'm trying to get as much out of here as I can. And you just put it where, you know how like you have stretch marks when you started lifting? Remember that? And you got those stretch marks here. Well, if you had any bit of a belly and you're a man and you lose that weight and your belly's flat, which mine is now flat, it still has wrinkles and folds in it. This is minimizing it. So you just basically put it on. All right, there we go. First time you've seen my belly. Put it on, and I get the wrinkles like right around here. A little bit above the belly button, a little bit below the belly button, like that. Now there's not a lot going on. I know all you homos are probably loving this one, but there's not a lot going on. This is just loose. All right, see that? A little loose there? That moisturizer tightens everything right up. So, side view, flat belly, still loose skin. You want to tighten up the skin, use a body butter from Grondike Soap. I've used all the products. Take my word for it. There's nothing better. I'll put a link for it down below. Describe your 5 closest friends, the 5 people who you spend the most time with. Most of us don't spend time with friends. Let's get real. We don't. It's a virtual society. And describe your 5 closest friends, the people who you hang with. Or better yet, how about the 5 closest, or I should say the 5 most watched content creators? Describe your 5 most watched content creators, and guess what? You just described yourself. You hang out with 5 fat, broke losers, you're going to be the 6th. That's just the way life is. So who do you hang with? Who do you watch? One of these days I'll share with you who my list is of who I watch on a regular basis. Most of it's like moto camping, stealth camping, food videos, food review videos, that kind of stuff. So I don't watch manosphere content, although I am friendly acquaintances with many, and if it's an interesting topic, I'll watch it. But for the most part, you know, 1/3 of manosphere is going to end up behind bars when it's all said and done. I want nothing to do with that. So obviously, it's time to start disavowing, dissociating, and distancing oneself from that nonsense if you are in those leagues. And start it today. Thank me later. You don't own your car. Think about it. You don't own your home. You don't own your business. Now, how is that? Try not paying taxes, car registration, business privilege taxes, state and business certificates and inspections, and then you're going to see who really owns those things. It's interesting, I didn't learn this until later in life, when you think you own things, but you also pay a privilege tax. You pay fees every year. Like, for instance, I'm done raising kids, but I pay school taxes. What the hell? Like, what's up with that? Right? I think taxes should be for police, the roads, infrastructure, not for other countries, not for Ukraine, not for Israel, not for other blood-sucking countries and demographics who just want to suck the life out of you and your country. But you voted for it. This is what you need to do your research on. Who are the takers? Who are the takers that are taking your money right now? Like, for instance, all right, I'll just use what's in front of me. Here's a $20 bill. A $20 bill. Did you know that this $20 bill is now worth, well, it lost 40% of its value. So that's what? 40% of 20 is 8. So this $20 bill, even though it says 20 on it, can only purchase $12 worth of goods. That's it. You made 20 bucks, you really made 12 bucks. Thank your government for that. There you go. So be careful with who you support. Most likely the people you voted for are taking your money. And did you ever notice that the people who you vote for always live better than you? They drive nicer cars, live in nicer neighborhoods. You ever notice that? When are you going to change that? When are you going to start voting for working people who know what it's like to earn a dollar? Instead, you vote for people who are experts with other people's money, not even their own money. The people that you vote for don't even spend their own money the same way they spend your money. But you keep voting for them, don't you? Good for you. Somebody said to me, what's the best motorcycle or scooter that you can get? And they're thinking of getting it. And my reply is the one that you ride the most, the one that you enjoy. I don't care. Like, you got your, ride or die Harley guys, your ride or die Honda guy. I don't care. I don't care what you ride. You know what I care about? I don't care what you ride. I care that you ride. I don't care if it's a moped that's 49 cc's or an 1800 cc Valkyrie or a big giant Harley Electroglide. I don't care. I just want you to get on something and ride. And you're going to see the beauty and the freedom and the feeling that you get from being on the open road. It's a great feeling. Even if you're just a weekend warrior, you're going to love riding. You really are. I would recommend for you to take the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course. It'll lower your insurance a little bit, your motorcycle insurance, which is only going to be about $100 to $150 a year, but it will lower it a little bit. And it's going to give you skills that you will use for the rest of your life. I am still a firm believer that every man needs to have a profession and a trade defined as something you can do with your hands. I'm a proud second-generation master barber, which is my trade. My profession was therapy. That's what I went to college for. I switched over to becoming a coach because I don't want to focus on people's pasts, but on people's futures. 2 days a week I cut hair at my exclusive men's studio, and the other days I coach. I do social media and I do product development. But keep in mind, every man needs a profession and a trade. If I can take it a step further, have multiple streams of income. When one thing stops, what will you rely on the most? Think about that. It's going to be important as the years go on. You're going to see. If you rely just on your job, what's going to happen when another pandemic happens? And it will. And it will. And the government closes your business down. Where's your income going to come from? You gonna roll up your sleeve and put on another mask again? Good for you. Good for you. How'd that work for you? Pretty good, right? Yeah. If you don't see it by now, there's nothing I can do for you. I'm sorry. I was 100% right. 3 years ago, I was 100% correct. Bitch and moan all you want. I was correct. So go roll up your sleeve, put on your fucking mask. Create positive cash flow for you. Positive cash flow is a beautiful thing. Positive cash flow means you have more money coming in than going out. Think about it. How much does it cost you to live every month? How much per day does it cost you to live? Do you make enough money where you have more money coming in than going out with your bills and obligations? That's what positive cash flow is. The only way you're going to have positive cash flow is by having multiple streams of income, and they don't have to be related. Think about that. I'm asking you to monetize your life somehow, some way. Monetize your life. Old men, I'm one of those old guys now, will always tell you the truth. We gain nothing by lying to you. Someday you are going to be an old man and you're going to share your truth and your wisdom with younger men. Therefore, right now, listen to what old, based men are saying. Because you can be a blue-pilled beta pussy of a 75-year-old. Age doesn't bring wisdom. Age and the seeking of wisdom brings wisdom. A 35, 40-year-old pussy, if you just add 40 years to him, he just becomes a 75-year-old pussy who never takes any risks, who just goes along to get along. Be a person who's always seeking truth and power, always, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I said this week we're on a runaway train right now between World War III, supply chain disruption, and another pandemic. Who can stop it? Nobody really knows, but one thing I do know is you have to have your own personal shit together. If you don't, you're in trouble. Which means stored food, stored water, stored medicine, beans, bullets, and Band-Aids. It's a fact. For you guys who have shoulder pain, the shoulder pain bros. When I started getting back into working out again after many, many years and doing dips, I used to be the dip king. My body defied gravity. I'd get up on those parallel bars and I was just literally, people would be like 30, 31, 32. I mean, I'm doing like 50 dips nonstop. When I got up on parallel bars and tried to do them about 6 months ago, you know how many I could do? 0. Couldn't even lift my own weight. Not because I'm weak, but because of my shoulders. Because I used to think I was really cool by putting a lot of plates on the barbells. And more plates meant more injuries, soft tissue, connective tissue, and joint injuries. Now it's not about how much weight I can push or pull. I'm happy to move my own body weight now. That's going to be the key. So what I do is between the parallel bars, I put a resistance band, and then I put my knee on that band, and it offsets my weight at the bottom of the movement, so I'm not hurting anything. So now it's slowly measured. I do between 10 and 20 per set, and it's real nice. The resistance bands have really, really helped me out, and they help me get my dip game back. And I can do more now than I could 3 months ago. So that's pretty cool. Don't be afraid to use those resistance bands that you got. They're really going to help you. As far as chest gains are concerned, size, the sculpting, not just size, but how they're shaped, and the strength of your chest. My biggest gains in the past 3 months came when I stopped doing bench presses. That flat bench press. Bench press. And you know who's really thankful more than anyone else? My shoulders. So what do I do now? I do a pec deck, I use a chest press machine, and I do incline dumbbell presses. Let me show you real quick here what I do. Regarding pec deck, I don't start with my hands straight out. I can't straighten out my hand here. Let me just do it this way. I was doing them like this. Now I bend a little bit, not quite at a 90-degree angle, but more like a 45. And one trainer said to me, think of yourself giving a big hug to somebody. You don't hug somebody with straight arms, do you? You hug somebody with your arms bent a little bit. So when I get on the pec deck, I make sure that the handles that I grip are at about mid-chest level, not bottom of the chest, not top of the chest, mid-chest level. Arms are bent a little bit, and they go all the way back, and I come to the center on a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hold it for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will do anywhere between 13 and 15 of those. When I get to the center, I just kind of flex. I flex the muscles. But when I'm done with that, 13, 14, 15 reps, I am quivering. And everything is concentrated. Sure, could I put 100 and more pounds on the pec deck and be like, pah, pah, pah. Yeah, of course I could. But I'm using about 3/4 of that. 70 pounds to be exact. I started out with 50 pounds, now I'm at 70, and everything is a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are my biggest gains. The next one I do, because I got rid of bench press, is I use a chest press. It's a machine, but I'm not just going straight out. The actual path of the machine, the hand grips, goes towards the center. So I'm doing this at about mid-chest level, and the machine, it starts here, but it ends here. So I'm doing this. Like that, on a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not straightening my arms out either. Constant tension. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do that. And then, of course, I do the incline dumbbell press. And what I'm doing, I'm starting with my hands like this with the dumbbells. And as I'm going up, I'm rotating a little bit and bringing them together. Coming back like this, rotating a little bit. Best gains, the best shape my chest has ever had, and here I am in my mid-60s. So, 2 thumbs up for the chest workout, but it took some experimentation, and I think I dialed it in. I love this here. In 1975, I took a bus from New Jersey to Philadelphia to be with David Bowie when he was recording Young Americans, and I was so impressed with his male background singer, a young man by the name of Luther Vandross. I never heard anything like him before. That was a testimony of Bruce Springsteen regarding Luther Vandross in 1975. I had no idea that he sang background on the song Young Americans by David Bowie. But when I listened to it, I'm like, yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that. How about that song by Little River Band? 1979. Well, I was born in the sign of water, and it's there that I feel my best. The albatross and the whales, they are my brothers. It's kind of a special feeling when you're out on the sea alone, staring at the full moon like a lover. Time for a cool change. Little River Band, 1979. It's almost like a MGTOW anthem, a guy that's gone his own way, like nature is his sibling, so to speak. I love that. It's a great song. If you don't know the song, it's called Cool Change. Just check it out. It's from 1979. And the harmonies will give you goosebumps. The phrase, hit the hay. In 1900, mattresses were nothing but sacks. Fabric, cotton sacks, stuffed with straw or hay. Hence the phrases, hit the sack or hit the hay. Did you ever say that? It's time to hit the sack. That's what it's referring to. If your butt and your gut are expanding, eat more water and fat, of course, and much less carbs. And you're going to start shrinking, your face will change, you're going to feel better. You will fit into old pants, old clothes. It's great. You're going to feel better about yourself. You really will. Everything will improve. How you walk, your gait, your posture, your sex life. If you don't have a sex life, then at least the appearance of a sex life will improve. And I think going carnivore / keto, high protein, high fat, low carb is a great move for everybody. And of course, drink water. As far as the ladies are concerned, if you love your man, you will make him a beautifully marbled steak. But he's probably too much of a pussy right now to push away that tofu stir fry that you've been making him. Men do these things. Most men become vegans because of the women in their lives, not because of independent research that they do. The woman wants to lose weight. Honey, I'll go vegan with you. I've seen it way too many times. I don't want to embarrass anybody, but you know, most of the people that I know who are vegan, vegetarian, they just got a fat, puffy look to them because of the carbs. Most of them do. Most of your keto, carnivore, ketovore, high protein, high fat people are jacked, chiseled, look great, will live longer, are on less medication. I'm not going to say it anymore. Just do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. You'll see. So ladies, if you love your man, make him a damn steak, will you? And I did say something like, you know, no wonder your man has man boobs. No wonder he has breasts. Feed him some real food. Steak. Feed him some real food. Come on. Make sure the meat, there's more meat on the plate than there are vegetables. As blue-pilled as the 1989 Aerosmith song, What It Takes, is a great description of how divorce feels and the many questions that a man may have. I like how he's not trying to get her back. He needs to get himself back. Men, stop trying to get her back and get yourself back. Send yourself flowers. You'll feel better. That's your job. If you break up or your marriage breaks apart, it's not your job to put it back together again if someone else broke it. Your job is to take care of you and fix yourself. For those that are traditionally wired to jump into commitment or marriage, people like myself, if you're anything like me, I would ask you to consider, there's a few things that I think are normal, healthy responses to, that's it, I'm done with women, or I'm done with relationships. Consider relationship fasting, number one. Consider open-ended relationships, and I'm not talking about like you're banging multiple people and they're banging multiple people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an open-ended relationship where when you do come together, you have a nice time, but you're not dating other people. You are exclusive, but it is open-ended. There's no commitment. Contractual relationships where you say, let's get together for 3 months, 6 months. Let's do a year and see what happens. And if things work out good, if I feel good, if you feel good, if it's good for us, then we continue for another 6 months or a year, that kind of thing. You know, there's options for those who don't care about notch count, making babies, or having traditional vows. You don't need a mommy, a daddy, or a maid. Like, for instance, 3 years ago, I made the statement that was quite shocking to a lot of people here, where I said I'm open to marriage. Now, am I now married? No. Am I actively looking for a spouse? I can't say that I'm actively looking for a spouse, but I am open to it. Now, when you're older, you do marriage a little bit different than you would when you were younger. Obviously, the way that I would do things now is so different. And the reasons are different, obviously, when you're a little bit older. But yeah, I'm open to having a wife. I'm not even going to say life partner, because that just sounds like so half-assed. I mean wife. I'm going to say it. I'm open to having a wife. But I don't need a mommy. I don't need a maid. I'm not going to start a family of 10 kids. That ain't going to happen. So, if you are not wired like the traditional marriage, if you're not wired that way, consider relationship fasting. Being together for a finite period of time, taking some time off. I'm not talking about spinning plates. I'm not talking about having multiple sexual partners. I like to say if you're going to spin plates, make sure you are one of those plates. Don't feel like your life only has meaning when you're with somebody or if you're part of a couple. Okay? You don't need a partner or a spouse to be complete. You don't need that. That whole, remember Jerry Maguire, you complete me bullshit? Guess who completes you? You. You complete you. That's what you do. And when you meet people who are completed by themselves, they just have a peace about them. They're not desperate. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to hang out with people who aren't so desperate, you know? I remember asking a girlfriend, why do you take so long to get ready? And she gave the best reply that I ever heard in my life. She says, I want to keep you coming back. What a beautiful, timely response that was. Good answer, right? And that was well over 30 years ago. And I vowed to myself that I would never hurry a woman ever again. She wants to look good for me. I am not going to make her hurry up. Honey, take your time. If you're doing that for me, take your time. Ladies, and we'll end with this. Here's a few things for you to practice. And this is what most men want. Number one, practice enhanced accountability. I do not want to be in any kind of relationship with you if you're talking with other men, banging other men, kissing on other men kissing on you. There needs to be a sense of accountability. Gaps in when I don't hear from you only mean one thing. And I want nothing to do with that. So number one, enhanced accountability. And you practice that. Number two, never dress alluring for anyone but your man. Do not dress sexy or alluring for anyone else. Only for your man. Number three, respect him. Women want to be loved. Men want to be respected and appreciated. Number four, don't get fat. Now, if you're already fat and your man loves you, cool. Good for you guys. And I'm not insulting anyone. If you carry more weight naturally, all right. And if you're doing your best, I realize that everyone has a different body type. Not every guy, not every woman's going to be slim, trim, muscular, all that kind of stuff. But don't get fat for your man. 5, be thankful for him. Be thankful for your man. Number 6, no girls' night out, because we all know this. When a woman has a girls' night out, it's got nothing to do with the girls. What she is doing is she's doing two things. She's shit testing you, and she's also trying to reassess. You know how like your property gets assessed every year? She's trying to assess her sexual market value. Women like to know that younger men are attracted to them. Older women like to be told, oh my God, you don't look 50, you look only 40. Oh, I thought you were 35. Let's get real about that. Women rarely will tell the truth about that, and I'm rarely impressed when a woman tells me, oh, I get approached by young men all the time. Yay, good for you. No girls' night out. Sorry, no girls' night out. Number 7, you renew your trust with him daily. Trust may take years to establish, but could take 1 hour to be lost. Renew trust with him daily. Number 8, keep his stomach full and his balls empty. It's a crude way of saying that take care of your man. Take care of him. Number 9, be pretty, or as pretty as you can, or what pretty is for you. And number 10, never embarrass your man in any way, publicly or online or anything like that. Never embarrass him. So there's 10 things that ladies need to be very aware of. And they're not bad. They're not bad. If you disagree with any of those, there probably is something wrong with you. And with that, finish your creatine and water with a little bit of grape juice in it. And I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.